Hello, fans. I'm Chris Williams, and I'm back with yet another review. This review is like the last one, except I decided to do a kind of continuation of my Female Furies reviews by going back to Mr. Miracle issue 9, circa the 1970s. I did this because I wanted to show you the vast differences between a good comic and a bad comic. And we'll start with the cover. Kirby's cover is just plainly awesome, with Mr. Miracle holding on for dear life while he's being attacked by parademons, firing at him from behind. Yeah, like the cover says, you'll never read a story like Come On. Now come with me as we visit Jack Kirby's fourth world. The first page is stunning. You really see Kirby's skill and his imagination at play here. The colors are awesome. The picture of the technology he has created for this world is just very great. It starts out with wonderful Willick, who has been ordered to find the man called Haman, who has been causing trouble in Argamagitto, apparently. The place where Darkseid has been destined to die one day by his son Orion's hands. They are looking for Haman, who has been stirring up trouble, filling people's heads with silly ideas of freedom and peace. Wonderful Willick, the same guy from Female Furies, who apparently here is much more ugly, is telling the people if they do not give him Haman, he will kill them all. They said that they would hand him over gladly, and the fact they want to kill him themselves. But they don't do it fast enough, and he fears the best way to do this would be to burn them all. Willick is told to stay his hand by Haman, but Willick will not listen to Haman. He is just going to burn the crowd, and the one who survives the fire is obviously Haman, and Willick congratulates himself by determining that this would be the proper action, because Haman can no longer hide with his mother box. Haman is of course angered beyond belief by Willick, but Willick does not care. He fires upon Haman, but Haman has Mother Box deflects the blast right back at him, knocking Willick off his miserable feet. His men, of course, console him, saying Haman must not have gone far, but Haman has teleported back to where scot-free, the future Mr. Miracle, has been living with him, learning from Haman, learning about these strange ideas of freedom and peace and happiness. Here we see Haman sticking his hand out through a boom tube or another kind of portal, and he greets Mr. Miracle, scot-free, saying that he has many ideas and that he should follow him to where the other children in him are, where he's teaching them to build mother boxes so that they can improve their lives. One of them is having a tough time building it. He apparently doesn't have enough. He's too subservient to the ideas of apocalypse to make a connection to the source, while others are excelling masterfully at building their own mother boxes and imbuing them with power. Haman asks one of his young proteges why he stole an anti-gravity device. He responds that he took it because he would help him in his life. He still chastises him for being a thief. While we come to a familiar face, it's that girl from the actual Female Furies. Arion or something. I can't pronounce her name. She dreams of dancing, and she uses her Haman's knowledge to project it onto a screen so she can at least think about dancing, imagining it. But Haman says, "Go ahead and dance." But before Arion can do it, Big Barda bursts into the room, kidnapping her and taking her back to the orphanage, while she chastises scot-free for listening to such a rebel. And she threatens him, but Mr. Miracle, well, he has tricks up his sleeve, and he destroys her weapon. After she leaves, the lowlies, the ordinary people, the slaves, Apocalypse, have found Haman, and they decide to go and attack him. He causes all his students to go and flee, and they use their mother boxes to disappear. One guy, the man known as Cretan, is greeted by Metatron. Metatron says he should have gone back and helped Haman, but Cretan does not want anything to do with what's going to happen. The people have now caught Haman, and they have strapped him to an explosive. People can only watch on as Haman is killed in a giant explosion, and they congratulate themselves in serving Darkseid's plans and will by killing the traitor. But not unbeknownst to them, Haman has survived. He meets Metatron on a mountain, and he talks about how he wants to help and free scot-free, while wonderful Willick, greeted by Cretan, who decided to turn on his friends, wonderful Willick has no need of him and kills him and hangs his body up with the other students of Haman, who he has captured and killed. Wonderful Willick displays the dead bodies to Scot-Free and Big Barda as a warning to both of them that if they do not shape up, that they will be killed like he had just done to Arion, who Big Barda had captured earlier to save her. Big Barda and Scot-Free reel back at the display of savagery, while he sends them away with the butler who just gave him his dinner. He finds that underneath where his dinner should be is actually a bomb. The butler had been Haman, and he had just planted a bomb to kill wonderful Willick to avenge his students. Big Barda, now a confidant of Haman, pretty much against her will can only listen as Scot-Free and Haman talk about how Scot-Free should go and live his own life and find his own way in the world. Here, the Paradigms are trying to capture Scot-Free. All they can do is batter him down to the ground. He does his best to live. He manages to find Haman and Metatron, who have created a boom tube so that he can escape to another planet. Darkseid shows up, and he says that he should stay and be his slave, that he has so much that he can do nothing but be a pathetic wretch. But Scot-Free will have nothing of it. He decides to listen to Haman, and he screams out, "Let me be scot-free and find myself." He dives into the boom tube, and Haman and Metatron congratulate Darkseid because he had finally gotten scot-free to free himself, thus breaking the pact with New Genesis, and Darkseid can now have his war. Darkseid's plan had always been that if Scot-Free escaped, that he could start his plans for universal conquest again, and he could start that conquest with the destruction of New Genesis. But this has also been Haman and Metatron's plan to free Scot, so that he could find his own way beyond Darkseid, beyond Highfather, so he could find his own way in the world, and that it could one day lead back to the defeat of Darkseid. I decided to end this review with the first page because it is very good artwork, and that you can understand why this one issue is better than those 2 issues of Female Furies. We get to know even though Arion didn't say a word in this one issue, she was far more heroic, far more independent, far more human than the wretch we saw in Female Furies. Wonderful Willock is far worse here, and actually a real villain than the pathetic, nerdish little bastard we got in Female Furies. And this shows how much better Jack Kirby, who couldn't even write, did than a woman who actually writes, Cecil did with those two issues. Jack Kirby, the king, proves that he might not have been a good writer, but he could at least write circles around the current SJW writers today. If you like this video, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and leave a like. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.